Hey gang, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Mental Mondays on Intuitive Angling, and thanks a lot for checking today's video out. Much appreciated. And all you regulars, welcome back. And if you're new to the channel, this is something we do once a week that usually I try to do something to sort of make people think a little bit. It usually doesn't have much to do with fishing, but if it's your first time checking the video out, much appreciate you guys joining us. Today we're going to be talking about appreciation and gratitude, the importance of it in your life, how powerful it is in your life, and it's one of my favorite topics, so we're going to get into that a little bit. So I think one of the things in people's lives, I think that gets overlooked a lot, is how critical it is as far as for having a healthy, positive, successful life, how critical it is to practice appreciation and gratitude. Because one of the things that I found out in my own life, and a lot of you guys that may be aware of it too, is the more appreciative you are of things, and the more gratitude that you have for things, the more those things come into your life on a regular basis. Now, this is one of those mysteries of the universe. I mean, there's a lot of mysteries of the universe out there, but one of the things I do know about the nature of reality is if you make it a habit to be grateful and practice gratefulness and awareness, and appreciation on a conscious, everyday basis, you attract more of that into your life. You attract more of those good things into your life. That's just the way it works. It's sort of like the law of gravity or something like that. I really think that on some level, there's a law of appreciation and gratitude that affects our life in a positive way. And on top of that, on top of benefiting yourself just, on a surface level, it also just makes you a better person. I mean, it makes you a more grounded person, it makes you a more centered person, and it serves to be a good role model for other people. Now, I think one of the things about appreciation and gratitude, I think a lot of it is learned, because I think it's really important at an early age that people teach their children to be grateful and appreciative about things. And that's one of the things I really try to do with our kids here, is like anytime they get something or somebody does something for them, that they are, reminded to be grateful and appreciative for that. Because I think that unless people are reminded about that, I'm not sure that it's a natural inclination for people to do that unless they don't have anything and then they get it. Now, I'll tell you guys one of the most powerful examples that people can see on a surface level of appreciation and gratitude. If you guys ever watch the TV show Alone, where they take 10 people out into the wilderness and they just give them some of the just basic stuff like saws and knives and something like that, see who lasts the longest out there. One of the things you'll notice as time goes on and they start to get hungry and they start to struggle mentally and emotionally and physically, is that when they have little things that come into their existence that makes it better, like for example, they're on the edge of starvation and they catch a fish, or they find something that makes it easier, the level of appreciation and gratitude goes through the sky. It just goes, it goes to a level that most people don't even realize exists anymore out there. And prime example here is and this is one of those stories I've told a little bit in the past. A lot of you guys probably have never heard this, but I used to go to a lot of Tom Brown's tracking and wilderness schools in New Jersey. I went to quite a few of them. They teach, basically the ways of the ancient Native American Indian survival techniques on a physical, mental, and spiritual level. And one of the lessons that they taught us there is the instructor, Tom Brown Jr., was telling us that when he was a little kid, he had a mentor that he called grandfather. He was an Apache Indian, taught him a lot of everything he knew about, survival and wilderness and that type of stuff. And he said that grandfather would always test Tom when he was little. This was, Tom was probably 10 or 12 years old when all this took place, but grandfather would always try to teach him lessons without really trying to give him everything, trying to make them want to learn and want to work for it themselves. And he said that it was the summertime and they had taken this extremely long hike, you know, all day long with no water along the route. And at the end of the day, they were all thirsty. It was Tom and a friend of his and grandfather. And Tom couldn't hardly stand it. He was so thirsty. And they finally got to the creek where they were going to drink. And Tom ran as fast as he could to the creek and jumped in it and just started gobbling down water as fast as he could. And he said, while he was in the creek doing that and everything, drinking as much as he could, he said grandfather walked up to the creek, and grandfather hadn't had anything to drink either, and he was in his 80s at the time. And he said he slowly walked up to the creek, and he said he just looked out over the creek a little bit, didn't say anything, do anything, and he got down on his knees, and he put his hand in the water, and he just started gently rubbing the water with his hand. He didn't do any drinking at all. And after he did that for a while, he slowly would like put some water in his hand, and he'd cup it and he'd hold it up to the air, and he'd smell it and look at it. And only after he did this for quite a while, he started taking little sips out of it. And that was a lesson in appreciation and gratitude, because grandfather, he knew what it was like to be thirsty, and he knew the power and the appreciation of having that water. He said he didn't take it for granted. It's like he knew this water was going to allow him to survive, and he wanted to show this water gratitude and appreciation. And Tom said that was one of the most powerful lessons he'd ever seen, as far as, and he said he felt terrible that he just jumped in and started gobbling it up. But anyway, guys, in your normal everyday lives, it's very critical to practice appreciation and gratitude on a daily level. One of the things that I always do every single day is, at the end of the day, I don't care if I've had a terrible day, if I've had like the worst day in the world, I always take time to reflect back and basically show gratitude and appreciation to the things that came into my life that particular day. It could be something, if I had a really good, a really good hamburger, or if I had something that happened while I was getting gas that, made me smile or something like that. Or it could be anything. We can always find something to be grateful for and appreciative for. And I think that when you incorporate that in your life and you make it part of your daily routine, that centers you in a way that is inexplainable. And like I said, it brings more into your life. I mean, the more that you show gratitude, and that gratitude and appreciation reverberates into the universe, that comes back to you. It sort of goes back to that whole law of karma, that type of stuff. It's like you get what you give. And I know for sure in my own life, I have seen that over and over again. I've seen it in everybody's life around me. And it's probably the most overlooked trait in our human existence as far as making our lives better. So the advice I'm gonna give you guys today is just try it, man. Try being appreciative and grateful for everything in your life. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, if you go in to get gas at a convenience store and the clerk behind there, was really bubbly and told you have a nice day, appreciate that. Be grateful for that. You get more of it in your life. It's just like, that's something that needs to be taught in every classroom, from the time kids are in kindergarten all the way up till they're in graduate college. Practice appreciation and gratitude. It will benefit your life. It will benefit others around you. Makes the world a better place. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you later.